Hello everyone, I am Gyan and you are watching the first session of Java and Web installation and first program. Let's learn about environment variables in Linux. Environment variables are name value pairs used by processes for various purposes. There are two types of environment variables, user level and system level. We use env command to see various environment variables present in the Linux system. Let's go to my Ubuntu machine. This is my Ubuntu machine. Press Ctrl, Alt and T to open new terminal. Let me increase the font size of my terminal. Press Shift Ctrl plus to increase font size of the terminal. Then type env. As you can see, environment variables are organized as name value pair. We have name is equal to value. Name of this variable is home and value is /home/Gyan. You can see a special variable path which we are going to discuss in great detail. Path variable has various directories contained in it, separated by columns. This one is first directory, then we have colon, then we have another directory, then we have a colon. So path variable has various directories from here to here, separated by columns. Environment variables are set of dynamic named values that can affect the way running processes will behave on a computer. This is a statement of Wikipedia. While execution, a process uses different environment variables to take various system information. For example, our Java program uses some environment variables. When we execute any command, the shell whose name is bash searches in all directories pointed by the path. We just seen path contains various directories separated by colon. So when we type any command, the shell whose name is bash searches on all those directories which has been contained by the path separated by colons. So this is how our shell whose name is bash uses path environment variables. If we type env, we are getting all variables. Sometimes we just want to print only single variable. Means I just want to print path variable, not other variables. For that we need echo command. Let me clear the screen, clear, clear. And then type echo dollar variable name, path. You must have to provide path in all capitals, otherwise unlike Windows it will not work, because you know that Linux is case sensitive, so you must have to provide path in all capitals. Press enter. So now we have value of only path variable. To set environment variables using command line, we need to run variable is equal to value or export variable is equal to value command. Let me do this. Go there, clear the screen and write. First write var is equal to value. Now we have a new environment variable called var. Let me print this value of this variable, echo dollar var. We have, but if you try to print a variable which is not present in your system, then it will just print an empty line. The variable var1 does not exist. That's why when we try to echo var1, it prints an empty line. The other way to set a variable is export var1. This time I am writing 1. var1 is equal to value 1. Since var1 environment variable does not exist, so now I am setting it. Press enter. And now echo var1. It comes echo var. This variable is also present now. We already set both of them. But this setting does not affect globally. This setting is for given terminal. We cannot use such setting from other terminal. and this variable will be deleted when we close the terminal. Let me go to my Ubuntu machine and open another terminal. Control Alt T. A new terminal I have. Let me increase its font size also. Control Shift plus. I have somewhat increased font size now. Now echo $var. For this terminal, value var does not exist. Setting variable like this from a terminal only affects in that terminal in which you set the variable. It will not affect in some other terminal. So whenever you close this terminal, your setted value will be closed because this is only visible in this terminal, not in other. Now we don't have any value named var or var1 because that terminal has been closed from which we set it. This variable will be deleted when you close the terminal from which you set these variables. Unlike Windows, Linux is a multi-user operating system. So there can be permanent environment variables for a given user and can be permanent environment variables for all given users. Means for the user Gyan, I can have a variable which is permanent for user Gyan only, but same variable will not be available to another user, say Gyan1. So we can have this type of permanent variables which is only available for a single user. We can also have permanent variables for all users. Means same variable will be available for Gyan and so as for Gyan1. How to set these variables? Permanent for single user or permanent for all users. To create a permanent environment variable for a single user, write following in bottom of the file named /home/gyan/.bashrc. This thing we have to write in this file. Let me open a new terminal. Control Alt T. Increase the font size. Control Shift plus. For all users in Linux system, there is a special file called .bashrc file. A file whose name is starting with dot symbol is a hidden file. You cannot see this file graphically, but if you write ls-a, in somewhere you can see .bashrc file. Let me open that .bashrc file for user Gyan. The .bashrc file for all users are present in the home directory of respective users. So for user Gyan, we have a .bashrc file in the home directory of user Gyan. So we are in the home directory of user Gyan. Let me open gedit .bashrc and then ampersand. This is .bashrc file. Go to the bottom. This is bottom and type var is equal to value, or you can also type export var1 is equal to value 1. Save it. Control S. And let me cut this window. Press Ctrl C and then clear the screen. Now the environment variable is set for the user Gyan. Let me echo it. Echo $var. It has not printed. Our newly added environment variable in .bashrc will be reflected in the new terminal, not in old terminal. So let me open a new terminal, then only we can see the value of our newly added environment variable. Press Ctrl Alt T and increase font size a little and echo $var. It gets reflected in the new terminal. Again try to echo another environment variable, echo var1, press enter and it is saying value 1. So our added variable is now reflected in the newly opened terminal, not in the old terminal from which we set the variable. But these values var and var1 are not reflected to other users, say Gyan1. These values are only for the user Gyan. If you want to reflect some environment variable for all the users present in the Linux system, you have to change some other file. Let us see. To create a permanent environment variable for all users, write following in the button of the file name /etc/bash.bashrc, and same thing you have to write in this file, and for that you need to edit it using sudo, otherwise you cannot do that. Let me update this file and add an environment variable for all users in permanent manner. Vi. Let me use gedit because you will be comfortable with gedit. So open etc bash.bashrc, sudo gedit /etc/bash.bashrc. Don't use ampersand with sudo. Provide my password and it opens. This is bash.bashrc. Here at the last, at very end of this file, I want to add var2 is equal to value 2, and other variable I want to add as export var3 is equal to value 3. Let me save this and cut this. Clear? Since newly added environment variable will be not reflected in our already open terminal, so let's open a new terminal. Increase its font size, Ctrl Shift plus, then echo $var2. It shows value 2. Echo $var3, it shows value 3. Var, it is showing value, and var1, it is showing value 1. So all our environment variables are set now. So this is how we set permanent environment variable for a user and for all users. Now let's learn how to unset environment variables. You can cut the terminal and terminal local variables will get deleted. We done it. We cut the terminal and the variables we set inside the terminal got deleted. You can erase the export statement if you have written it in .bashrc or etc bash.bashrc. Whatever you have written, if you delete those, let me open .bashrc. /.bashrc. We have just added this one, these two values, and if we delete it, now our environment variable for user Gyan, permanent environment variable for user Gyan got deleted. That's it. And this deletion will be effect from newly opened terminal, not in this terminal. If you echo here, you can get the value, but if you open a new terminal and try to print here echo $var, you will not get anything because you just deleted it. So as you can delete the variable present in etc bash.bashrc file. You can make a permanent variable temporarily ineffective for a given terminal using command unset var. Means in this terminal we have value of var2 and var3. For this terminal locally, if I want to unset my variable var2, just write unset var2 and now try to echo it. It shows variable var2 does not exist, but it doesn't mean that it has been deleted from the bash.bash rc file. It is present there. Let me open another terminal and print the var2, echo $var2. It gets printed. The environment variable var2 only gets unaffected for this terminal locally only, not for other terminals. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.